You know, one of the wildest side effects of the whole AI revolution isn't what it created from scratch, but what it supercharged. I'm talking about an academic shadow economy that everyone, and I mean everyone, thought AI was about to destroy.
I mean, think about it, right? When tools like ChatGPT first burst onto the scene, the assumption was pretty simple. Students could just generate their own essays for free. So, naturally, we all thought this was the death knell for the ghostwriting business. Why would you pay someone when a machine can do it for you? But that's not what happened. Not at all. Instead of killing the market, generative AI basically gave it a massive shot of adrenaline. The ghostwriting industry isn't just surviving, it's booming like never before. And this quote just captures the new reality perfectly. As one publication put it, AI has become an assistant to these so-called paper factories. It's helping them scale up their operations in ways we've never seen. So the very technology that was supposed to be the threat, well, it became their single greatest tool.
Okay, so let's get into it. We're going to start with this weird AI paradox, then take a look at the ghost market economy and just what it costs. After that, we'll see how this fits into academia's long-running arms race. And finally, we'll ask the big question. What does this all mean for the value of a degree?
All right, so first up, how did the one tool that was supposed to end this kind of cheating become its biggest accelerator? It's a classic story of disruption, really, just not in the way anyone saw coming.
And here it is, the heart of the paradox. We all expected students would be the ones using AI, but the reality is that these industrial-scale paper mills adopted what they call a drafting plus AI model. So now, human writers use AI to spit out the initial drafts, and then they come in to refine, edit, and polish it. This lets them churn out work way faster and cheaper than they ever could before.
And the scale we're talking about is just mind-boggling. One report found that a single AI-assisted paper factory in China can produce 600,000 words of academic text a month. To give you some perspective, that's basically 10 PhD dissertations coming out of one office every 30 days. So all this new efficiency has helped build a massive, hidden global market. And we're not just talking about a few freelancers here and there. This is a structured international industry.
Just how big is it? Well, according to industry reports, the global market for academic ghostwriting is on track to hit $120 million in 2025. That is a serious business, built entirely in the shadows of our education system. So who's actually buying this stuff? A huge chunk, 62%, are international students, who are often dealing with language barriers and just immense cultural pressure. Another 28% are working professionals, trying to juggle a demanding job with part-time studies. So it's a really diverse group of customers, all with different reasons for turning to these services. And let's be clear, this is not some fringe issue. A major review of studies found that, globally, about 16% of university students have admitted to paying someone to do their work. You do the math, that's over 30 million people around the world. Now, what's really fascinating is how this huge market works just like any other business. It's got sophisticated services and a very clear price list. Academic achievement has literally become a commodity. You can buy a grade. So let's take a look at the menu. Based on pricing from one of the major players, an undergrad paper in the humanities could run you about $1,000. Need an engineering paper? Well, that's going to be closer to $1,400. And if you're a medical student and you're really in a crunch, you could be paying up to $3,000 for a single paper. And the pricing model is actually incredibly detailed. It's not just a flat fee. The cost is calculated based on everything, from your academic level and how tough the subject is to how fast you need it. You can even pay more to get a writer with a PhD and tack on add-ons, like a plagiarism report or even a PowerPoint presentation for your defense. Now, it's really easy to think this is some brand new problem, something caused by the internet and AI. But the truth is, this fight between academic integrity and cheating, it's an arms race that's been going on for over 100 years. The weapons have just gotten a lot more advanced, on both sides. This has been building for a long, long time. It started back in the 1800s with fraternities keeping files of old essays. By the 1950s, you had actual physical paper mills selling assignments. Then, in 1998, academia fought back with tech like Turnitin. The official term contract cheating came about in 2006, and by 2022, countries like the UK were making it a crime. And now, here we are, in the AI era, where the scale has just exploded all over again. Let's just be super clear about what we're talking about here. The modern term contract cheating defines this as outsourcing your work to someone else and then passing it off as your own. And it's seen as a really serious kind of academic fraud because, well, it goes right to the heart of what learning and evaluation are supposed to be about.
But, this sense of outrage is nothing new. Check out this quote. It's from a student during a court case against a paper mill back in 1972. Even 50 years ago, the complaint was exactly the same. It's just so unfair to honest students who suddenly have to compete not with their friends, but with professional PhD-level ghostwriters.
So, we've covered the paradox, the markets, the history, and it all leads to this really fundamental question. When the whole process of learning can just be outsourced, what is a degree actually certifying?
And it's really important to get that this isn't just about lazy students. There are huge systemic pressures that create the demand for this stuff. The whole publish-or-perish culture, insane graduation requirements, needing publications just to get into grad school, it all pushes people toward these services. Then you throw in language barriers and the time crunch for working professionals, and you've got yourself a perfect storm.
Of course, universities and governments are trying to fight back. In China, for example, the Ministry of Education has policies that can get you expelled if you're caught buying or selling papers. So the stakes for anyone who gets caught are incredibly high.
But here's the real modern dilemma. Okay, outright ghostwriting, yeah, that's obviously cheating. But what about using AI to generate an outline, or to polish your grammar, or to draft a literature review for you? As these tools just become a normal part of every job, the line between what's legitimate help and what's academic fraud is getting really, really blurry. And that brings us to the final big question. This multi-million-dollar industry treats education not as a process of growing and discovering things, but as a bunch of obstacles you can just overcome with money. It forces us to ask, if a degree or a publication or an A can simply be bought, what are we really certifying that students know? And maybe more importantly, what are they actually learning?